they wanted to do another match, and Vince was like, "Do you think that we should do that?" So Jericho was like, "Yeah, I think it's a good idea." So once Jericho agreed to do a second match, that's when Vince took Jericho off and put Rusev in the match. So
you. Only thing I got for you, bro, is I still don't see the win and loss column with that category, because I'm not saying you can't lose a match at WrestleMania and still get a pop. What I'm saying is, as good as Sasha Banks is, she should not be 6-0 at WrestleMania. I mean 0-6 at WrestleMania. I'm not saying that people hate her because she's 0-6. I just feel like she should at least have 1 or 2 wins in there, because if you think about it, if I'm not mistaken, 3 of her losses came from Charlotte Flair, which in all honesty, one of them she should have won at least over Charlotte.
Which we all know, but we see how Charlotte came crying the little baby last night. That's definitely one of Vince's favorites.
Okay. That's all I'm saying though on the win and loss column. I'm not saying.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I really felt that, you know what I'm saying, the triple threat match that she had with Charlotte and Becky for the women's championship. I feel she should have won that match. I completely agree.
Right. But that's my whole point. Like, me for Asuka, when Asuka and who was that, Charlotte went at it for the world title and Asuka undefeated streak, I wouldn't have broke it at WrestleMania. I mean, it made sense to break the streak of Undertaker at WrestleMania because that's where he built it at. But for Asuka, she had did it from day one, from when she walked in the door. You know, I don't think Charlotte was the wrong person to break it, but it just wasn't the time for it. You see what I'm saying? It's timing for everything, and that didn't go good for Asuka, because after that, we seen Asuka lose about 6 or 7 matches straight, and it wasn't even. Her character really took a hit up until she had this next title run.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel that, and Ant can attest with me with this. Like, Asuka was dominant in NXT. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nobody that even gave her like a legit challenge. Like, because she ran through the division. You know what I'm saying? Right. So with her doing that, you bring her to the main roster, and she continues her undefeated streak. Wins the Royal Rumble. Dominates Raw, and then she goes to SmackDown, challenges Charlotte, and then it's like and me and Sai talked about this numerous times on the podcast, on this podcast. Like, not only did you have Charlotte Flair beat Asuka, but you have Asuka tap out, which is the most disrespectful thing you can do. Right. Have her lose, you know what I'm saying? You could have had her lose by count out. Somebody had, have it a controversial win. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody she had beef with, or the person who, I don't remember who she eliminated in the Royal Rumble, the last person. Let her come out and interfere, like, oh, you took my shine, I'm supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. But to have her tap out in the middle of the ring, to lose her, to end her streak, that was just insane. Like,
yeah, that was like it should never went like that. I think she could have lost by pinfall, would have rather been by pinfall, but I agree with Trav though on that one, because I don't think she should have lost right then and there. Because the run she had at NXT was like, it will never be a run what she had at NXT, women or men or tag.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, I felt like like even with the podcast where Jericho mentioned about him losing, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, when I seen that match, I felt like Jericho should have won that match. Like, and that's before I even knew the plans of that whole match between him and Shawn. But Pat Patterson had a point about him getting a lot of heel heat. I feel like the heel heat. I mean, because did the feud run after they had that WrestleMania match?
I don't remember.
See, and that's a point, because it's like if he did that, and the feud would run on, because I think it actually ran on like
years later. What year was that? WrestleMania 19 was what year?
2003. That was Stone Cold's last match, 19 years from 16 years ago. That was 18 years ago, 2003.
Yeah, I don't remember them fighting really after that until that ladder match they had in 08. after Jericho cut his hair. That's why I remember the feud getting built up back again. Because if you remember, Jericho had Michaels on the what was the name of his show? Whatever show he used to have on Raw.
Highlight reel.
The highlight reel. And he slammed Shawn into the TV screen, and Shawn was out with the eye injury, and then Shawn's wife got involved.
Right.
Right in the face.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember too much after WrestleMania what really happened with him. I don't know if he moved on. I don't really know what happened. I think they had a rematch at the next pay-per-view. And I think Jericho won that with a low blow.
Yeah, but yeah, I felt like I mean, it made sense for the feud, like for the feud to go on, and then they wound up having like the ladder match for the world championship, like later on. Like I felt like I felt like that was an interesting part in the show. Like even with I think another interesting part in the show was when Jericho talked about winning the world championship, because it was always rumored that Jericho was supposed to win that title, and Triple H played backstage politics and made sure that Jericho didn't keep the title, and that's the reason why Jericho didn't get the title. When Jericho actually shared that that was the plan. The whole plan was to make him win the title, and then have Triple H reverse the decision and get the title back. It was part of the whole heel persona, and also to give Jericho a bump in his character, and because again, Vince had future plans on putting the title on him anyway. So I thought that was I like that. That was very interesting because it gave more insight as to, kind of like debunking the rumor about how people always view Triple H having the golden burial shovel. So I thought that was pretty cool.
What I liked about the interview though was like, I think we witnessed like the future of wrestling now. It's like, I don't think it's going to be any more competition. Well, it's never no competition with WWE, but now I think we're seeing like all wrestling top brands working together. I could see that happening now. Like, because Jericho was plugging AEW like every other topic. He was plugging in guys.
Right.
He's plugging. He got a lot of guys. I bet you a lot of guys got a lot of YouTube views after that. He was plugging in Orange Cassidy, Omega, the Bucks, guys that is a lot of younger generation, younger than us, never even heard of, because like Jericho said, they only had shine outside of the US. You know what I'm saying? But the whole interview to me was great, because I think we just witnessed what we all wanted to see, that forbidden door, or whatever you want to call it. It's like, there's really a chance. Maybe Vince is opening his eyes, you know what I'm saying, to see that this could be big business for both companies.
I agree.
Negative. Vince ain't gonna never open his eyes.
Well, all right. So my question is this, right? If Vince is, to be so convinced about coming to an understanding of doing some shared kind of partnership with other promotions, what would that really look like, in the sense that he does share some kind of talent with other promotions, but not diminish WWE being a hierarchy brand? What does that look like?
Well, let me get this one first. It could only be a Survivor Series. I don't think you can do that too much, because of you don't want to destroy your brand to give another brand an outlook. So you would have to run that type of thing for a month only. Brand switching, like WWE going to AEW, AEW coming to WWE, maybe even New Japan even interfering as well. But it wouldn't be. I don't think you could run that promotion outside of. Is it Survivor Series, or is it what is it? No. No, it's not Survivor Series where they cross matches. What is it? Gotta be.
It is Survivor Series. It is Survivor Series.
Okay. So Survivor. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it would have to be a Survivor Series. That's the only way. I don't see you doing that. I don't see you doing that at a WrestleMania. Most definitely not WrestleMania. No SummerSlam. Nothing like that. Or Vengeance. You can pretty much do it at Vengeance, because Vengeance is one of those things where people just trying to get revenge, or people trying to get their name out there. So I would say that would be one for just Survivor Series, where you got AEW versus WWE, NXT, New Japan or whoever, but I don't see Vince doing that. You talking about he don't even push and promote guys that are good in his company, and you talking about let alone bringing in AEW that you know he already got a problem with. Because look at the simple fact, he just got NXT pulled off the same night as AEW.
Yeah, but that was due because they just signed. They're gonna start airing hockey on USA. That's why.
Yeah.
That's fine, but that's fine. But at the same time, you know, good and doggone well, Vince could have did that. He could have moved that to another channel if he wanted to.
I think that's a sign of letting them get their
Yeah, he
shine.
could have.
I'm just saying, but I'm saying that's the nature of competitiveness. When you talk about he moved it to a whole nother night versus a whole nother station. Like, no, I don't wanna move it off that station because we in competition with AEW. I need to air on Wednesday nights so we keep the head on.
Yeah, I understand that, but when the hierarchs tell you, yo, listen, we got to do this and that, blah blah blah. You take it or leave it, go to another station.
It
has power, but he don't got that much power to tell USA, I'm not moving to Tuesday. Move NHL hockey to Tuesday.
Right.
They're gonna tell him to walk. All right, walk.
Right, and also with that being said, and like you forget Raw's on USA too, so you know he's being stubborn about NXT. They're like, okay, well you Raw and NXT bounce. Now you got to look for networks for both your types for your type show.
They're gonna tell him go back.
That's negative. That's a negative because what channel does SmackDown come on?
Fox.
Okay, so what I'm saying is you couldn't work out a deal on Wednesday nights to get NXT to Fox.
But
I'm not saying.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it like this. There's a lot of shows that come on Wednesday night on Fox. I think like the Masked Singer and all this other crazy stuff. You have to do a lot of stuff will have to get rearranged.
Man, but how many channels have we jumped from, bro? Let's be real. How many channels have we jumped from? We done went from USA, Fox, Sci-Fi, and more.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
There's on Sci-Fi.
Well, hold on a second. It's based on ratings because if WWE is like, say for instance, if you got America's Got Talent that's on Fox, right, and it's on a Wednesday slot, right, and America's Got Talent is pulling in 5 million people, right, but NXT is only pulling in what, like 1.5 or something like that.
Not even that, like 723,000, I think.
Exactly. They're not going to switch that slot because every Wednesday people are checking for America's Got Talent, and they're not going to put NXT over America's Got Talent.
I'm not talking about moving a show out the way. We got 1,000 channels that he could jump to and do a deal.
Yeah, but it's the money good like USA money.
Right, but outside of that, also you got to think about it from this aspect too. Like, okay, NXT has been losing to the ratings war to AEW every week, and minus maybe like a takeover. I think maybe like 10 times out of the year they've been on the same show. NXT has won the rating. Maybe it definitely 10 or less. So why not in increase competition? So why not eliminate that competition? You move to Tuesday, so now all wrestling fans can just focus on NXT. You don't got to go back and forth through channels. You can watch NXT solely by itself. Watch NXT, and it opens up for AEW as well. But now, because NXT has been its own commodity, and now for the first time, NXT is going to be on a day by itself with no competition. So now let's see how many draws it pulls by itself. Because remember, NXT moves to USA on Wednesday when AEW started because they wanted to build that competition. So now NXT goes to Tuesday by itself, no competition, nothing else on really. So now we're gonna see what kind of numbers they draw, and if it draws a decent amount of numbers, now they can negotiate with Fox. USA, like, hey, listen, this is what we got going on. We want to go back to Wednesday,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna hurt because now, to your point, Trav, like if they decide that they want to move to a different, now Vince got to negotiate with this network. Like they just negotiated with Peacock for the network to go on there. So now they got to negotiate to try to find another channel and try to find another who has a decent Wednesday slot open. And it's a lot of work. So why not just say, you know what, whatever. I mean, because think about it. And Jericho even said in the podcast, like Vince said sometimes, like, yo, I wish I could take a break. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Also, who else they're gonna go to, right? They're gonna go to what's that channel that Impact was on? America's Best or something like that? Or
Yeah,
like there's a channel that nobody watches, nobody even knew existed. Like what? Like who watches that channel? And there's probably a channel that like only people out in like, I mean, like people out more likely in the South, like Missouri or Minnesota or Tennessee probably get, but they probably don't even watch that channel. Like, so
You had
again,
mentioned you
it's
said
like,
that
what
because
channel are they going to go to? And they need, and not only that, but they need a channel that's high profile. Fox is high profile. USA is high profile. You know what I'm saying? They need like a major networking station that they can go to. If they went to CW, that'd be dope. If they went to NBC, that'll be dope. I mean, but they already got to deal with Peacock. So they already with 3 different networks. They with NBC, which is Peacock. They're with Fox, and they're with USA.
Well, let's be honest. The Peacock deal was stupid. I don't know why they moved to Peacock. I wish they would have stayed on WWE Network. But I don't know what type of residual income they're going to receive from Peacock. But you got to understand, when he had WWE Network, all the money that we paid for subscriptions was going straight to WWE. Now with Peacock, you get a percentage. Like I said, I don't know. But like I was saying earlier, just the switching of brands like that of AEW, New Japan with WWE, it's gonna have to be Survivor Series or Avengers. It can't go to no other big major show. I'm not sure what the pay-per-views are on AEW because I still haven't really started watching AEW just yet. I'm still waiting for something to hit and really catch my attention. But I mean, it's all it's all money based.
Well, the Peacock deal was actually, I mean, I think the Peacock deal was actually genius. I'm gonna tell you why. Because here's the thing: on the WWE network, is exclusively for WWE fans. It's dedicated to hardcore WWE fans and wrestling fans. So if you know about WWE, you know about wrestling, more than likely you'll know about the app because again, WWE is the biggest, wrestling conglomerate, right? So if you go to Peacock, which is owned by NBC, right? And NBC is probably, I think, the biggest like TV station. That's the station that I believe Bill Cosby was trying to buy. It's like a $700 and something billion company, probably more than that. I don't know, but NBC is like one of the biggest stations ever, right? If you're putting your show on a network like NBC where they have consistent viewers of like 5 million and better for their shows, and you put it on their app, what Vince was doing was he was bringing his fans over to NBC, right? And this is pretty much how they worked out the deal. Like Vince was like, listen, I got 3 million viewers that come on my app, view my my Raw, my SmackDown, my NXT all together, combined. I'll view my stuff, and we'll bring 3 million people over to you, while the 5 million people that you have already viewing your content will have the opportunity to be introduced to WWE if they know about it or if they don't know about it, and get, and just pretty much check out the brand and look into it. So it was a great deal because it brings more fans to WWE, also being able to view their content. So it was a great partnership. All WWE content is available on Peacock. Anybody who likes WWE, can view it. And not only that, plus I think it's less money. Like you pay like $3 a month or something like that.
That's for now. Eventually for the first 4 months, but I think it's gonna go back up. Now
I paid 10.
I'm gonna get into my rant with Peacock in a second because I keep poking at it. So I'm gonna get into my rant with that. But my only thing with the cross brand with AEW and WWE is Vince would Vince McMahon allow his top guys to take L?
Negative.
Like, he's not gonna allow Roman to lose. He's not gonna allow whoever the champion, Bobby Lashley or Drew McIntyre, he's not gonna allow one of them to lose. Now, Seth Rollins may be on the fence, but I don't see him allowing Seth to lose. So the only people that may be taking L's, Ricochet,
Yeah. Right. All the time, right? Exactly.
Alexander, those kind of guys. The Young Bucks face like Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. That'll be a way to get them shine. But I don't see Vince allowing his top guys to lose. And if you have a Kenny Omega versus now again, Tony Khan may say, okay, well we don't mind working with you guys, but we're not gonna have you guys beat all our guys, So
yeah,
you have to want to have some kind of dream match there, like Seth Rollins versus Kenny Omega, for it to even to make sense, or Bobby Lashley versus
don't even say his name.
Brian Cage.
Oh God, that's not a dream match, JJ.
So it's not a dream match.
It is a dream match. It's just a nightmare dream match. Nobody really wants to see
what I was thinking in my head. I was like, it's not a dream match. It's a nightmare.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like some people, would want to see that. I guess then you could see Matt and Jeff team up again, to fight the Young Bucks or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different scenarios that we could see. Matt Riddle versus the TNT champ.
Dallin Darby? Alan Darby?
I've never seen Riddle and Hangman Page.
Yeah. So it's a ton of different, combinations we can see. But I mean, well, obviously the women's division wouldn't stand a chance, but yeah. So you have to leave the women out of this one.
Yeah, right. Right.
But outside of that, I mean, like I said, it's certain matches. But like I said, I don't see Vince allowing, his top guys, Cesaro, Shinsuke. Shinsuke and Cesaro maybe, but
I would have said Cesaro last month. He would have probably let him lose, but now since he giving him a push, not Cesaro right now. Right. Maybe Sheamus though. Sheamus would be a good candidate for a L.
Yeah.
So even Drew McIntyre.
Oh God, Sheamus. Oh God, Sheamus, not Sheamus again.
So listen, my problem with Peacock is the NXT content. Like, where's it at?
Yeah, you gotta search for it because I went to go look at day 2 of Takeover Stand to Deliver, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is it? So I had to really scroll through it to try to find it.
Yeah, I did search for it, but they don't have every takeover on there.
Yeah, but another problem they having is too though, because when I was searching for WrestleMania, I was just finding it in Spanish, so I literally had to go through and search for it in English. Yeah. So it's crazy how they got this set up right now. Maybe they'll get better next month because this. They had it up for a month, but they didn't have nobody. Everybody was still streaming off WWE Network because, hey, I paid for it last month. I'm going to watch it, But I think I understood what you said about the Peacock deal, which makes sense because of the NBC. But at the same time, you could have done it. You could have done it without Peacock. There's ways. I'm not going to get into that, but there's ways he could have done it without Peacock. Because Peacock, like I said, although he may get a bigger percentage-wise with Peacock, but he still got to cut a percentage versus when he had WWE, he was taking in all the percentage. It's just like if you go in business with me, you got to give me a cut of the money. Right. But if you go in by yourself, everything goes to you. So I don't have a problem with the Peacock deal, but I just want to make sure, if Peacock gonna be where we streaming from, don't delete scenes and don't delete stuff that happened in the past. Mm-hmm. Just because you want to change the outlook of the company or you want to change the outlook because of your company. Don't change the stuff that happened in the past. Everybody understand. You can put it in the top right hand corner. This happened in 1992. Oh, people gonna look at it like, oh, that happened in 1992. But when you get to 2000, you may not see no cage match. You may not see no casket match in 2021. You may not see that. You know what I mean? So that's my only thing with Peacock.
Oh, no. So here's my thing with Peacock. I've been waiting for this one. So this weekend I've been really, really busy. And, so it all started bad. So I was playing catch up from day one. I think I watched NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver night 1 on Thursday morning. So I got caught up with that. So I didn't see Thursday. I didn't see Stand Deliver Thursday night. I didn't see SmackDown. I watched SmackDown Saturday morning prior to me going to do a little gig. So Saturday, I watched some of night one of what you call
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, but I watched most of it. I finished watching it night 2. So my plan with WWE Network, how it normally works, I finished watching night 1. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go straight into night 2. Mm-hmm. Normally with the network, you go into night 2, it'll ask you, hey, do you want to start live? You want to watch live or start from the beginning? I'm like, I'm gonna start from the beginning, watch, you know what I'm saying, watch through. So I got that mindset. I go to click on WrestleMania Night 2. It's starting live. No, I don't want to watch it live. I want to watch it from the beginning. So mind you, by the time I finished night 1, and I clicked on night 2, it was already Apollo Crews versus Big E. I didn't miss like 4 matches already. You know what I'm saying?
2 matches.
Yeah, I don't want to watch them now. I want to watch from the beginning. So I click out the app. I go back in. I try to click it. Still the same thing. It starts from now. Now it's into the another match. And I'm like, yo, so you trying to say and tell me I gotta wait for this shit to be over and then go back and watch it? That's killing me because
they made the announcement though when they first was going to Peacock. Like they made sure they mentioned that first. That was like one of the first things they mentioned. Like you won't be able to, or something's live, you won't be able to go back to the beginning. And that's what a lot of people are upset about. I was really upset about that. Like, come on, so you're telling me I got to sit here and wait until to watch the pay-per-view again, might fall asleep in the middle of it.
Right.
That's the only thing I had a problem with. Also, I didn't like that. I don't understand that. I don't understand.
Because that was convenient.
The app does that.
Yeah, it was real convenient. Like, you know, because sometimes you're out, you're doing stuff. Because I typically let's okay, stop. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, your wife's a wrestling fan, but let's say she wasn't, and it's a regular, not WrestleMania, because obviously WrestleMania trumps everything. But let's say it's a regular pay-per-view, and your wife's like, hey, babe, let's have a date night. Y'all on a date, you can't rush her back in the crib like, yo, wrestling coming at 8 o'clock, yo. We got, we got to get moving on. She gonna look at you like, yo, what you mean? Like, nah, yo, we got to be back in the crib at 8 o'clock because wrestling coming. You know what I'm saying? So with the convenience of watching it, starting it over, you can, enjoy your date, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Spend time with her, make her happy. You go in the house. You can start it, 9:30, 10 o'clock. You start it from the beginning, and you can watch it at your convenience. But now with Peacock, you gotta literally wait until. And from what you said, Si, like then you said you gotta wait until like hours after the show ends.
Yeah, you have to wait like at least, I think, from what I remember, you gotta wait like at least 3-4 hours. Because when I tried to watch it, I think it was night 1. I tried to watch it from the beginning. No, I think it was night 1 and night 2. I try to watch it. I try to replay it. No, I'm sorry. I finished night 1, and then I try to replay it like how we usually would do it on the network. And what I did was I went on. I'm trying to remember. I went on, and then like the show was over. And it said at the end, it said, "Oh, this coverage is now complete." Whatever. Something. It was just message or whatever. And then I tried to go on like maybe like an hour after and check it out, and it wasn't there. But by the time I left work, it was like 5 in the morning, like 5:30. Then the replay was available, so it was like at least maybe like.
I didn't have that problem because when I did night 1, I know it ended around about 10, maybe 10 o'clock my time where I was at the time, and I was able to view night 1 around about 12-ish, 12:30ish, and I didn't have that problem. So it seems, I don't know if it's an hour or 2, but I think night 1 ended about 10, 10:30, 11, close to 11. And I was able to view about an hour and a half after. And I get that because I'm like you. Sometimes when I join in at the last minute, I be wanting to watch it from the beginning versus from live. But honestly, just depending on what match going on and what point in the match it is. Like just say if it's one of the matches I wanted to see, I will watch it from there on up, and then I will go back and watch the matches beforehand. But honestly, when you got to the Big E and Apollo Crews match, you didn't miss anything. Honestly, I'm just being honest.
No, you didn't miss the Randy Orton versus Fiend match.
That was horrible.
You didn't miss nothing. You
didn't miss nothing.
No, but
with that match.
I wouldn't have known that if I didn't watch it. You know what I'm saying? So, So they would have showed a highlight, and I'd have been like, "Oh snap, I missed that." You know, so I'd have been pissed because that's one of the big matches. Now, obviously, as being that we seen it, we'd have been like, "Oh yeah, you ain't missed nothing." But think about if you didn't see it, the hype and anticipation, the build up for that match, and you would have realized you missed it, you'd have been pissed off.
I wasn't too excited about that match. No way. That wasn't one of the matches I really had to see. Honestly, no, it wasn't because, like I said, it's they didn't do it right. I mean, they did everything right up until he came. They did everything right when he came back. Agreed. But when it came to WrestleMania, they did everything wrong because now you brought the same Fiend out that we seen from day one. No, I don't want to see Bray Wyatt in his regular form. He got burned alive, according to WWE. But then when he was able to transform back into the regular Fiend, no, I was pissed off once I seen it.
I didn't like that.
I was pissed off. So for me, once that match started, at that moment, I knew the writers had jacked that match up. I knew it wasn't going to be long. I knew it wasn't going to be nothing special about that match. Because I think I haven't even watched Monday Night yet. I fell asleep on it last night. But I think Bray Wyatt actually came back for the Funhouse. Firefly Funhouse. I'm not sure, but I didn't watch it. But don't tell me. But if he came back in his regular form, then you really destroyed the whole great storyline you had built with the Fiend and Randy Orton. You really destroyed that. You just really like real talk. It turned into ashes and it just went away because when everybody seen this new Fiend, everybody like, yo, he burned, he back. But now you bring back the regular Bray Wyatt and the regular Fiend, you like, yo, what happened a couple months ago when he got burnt up?
Right.
You know what I mean? Just saying though, you know, you got to keep it 100. You got to keep it real at some portion. You can't change it just because of the situation at hand. Now, is the Randy Orton and Fiend feud over with? Who knows?
Right.
We'll see.
Right now, right. So you're basing your opinion and your feelings based off watching the match. But let's just say you didn't watch the match. You wouldn't have known them saying he went back to the old Fiend. So you'd have been watching from Apollo Crews versus Big E, and then later on in the match, they showed a clip of what happened. You'd have been like, "Yo, I missed that match." Oh,
nah.
Shit.
I wouldn't have, because the minute it came on, I would have hit that fast forward button. I don't play them games. Hit that fast forward button, bro.
There's no fast forward when it's live. There's no fast forward when it's live.
You can't watch it. But no. What I'm saying is, like, if I'm watching a match, if I catch it on a live, like if I go in it and it's on a live, and let's just say it's Randy Orton and Edge going on, and I catch it in the beginning, I'm gonna watch that match. Now, it just depends on who's after that if I'm going to view the rest of it. But if I watch that match, then I'm cool with going back and watching the matches before that. You know what I'm saying? I can stop at the Randy Orton and Edge match and go back to whatever matches before that, and then go fast. I watch it all over again if it was good, and then I keep going. So I guess it's just your preference, honestly. That's what it's about. Your preference.
Which is true, but again, I just personally feel like, you know what I'm saying, if I want to watch, I want to watch it from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? Now, great. If it was any other any other pay-per-view, then yeah, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. But this is WrestleMania, the granddaddy of them all, as Vince would say. So
well, can we give them let's give them a pass this WrestleMania, and let's see how the next couple pay-per-views go, because you got to understand this was the first official full pay-per-view on Peacock. So I would say give it a pay-per-view or two, and let's see if they change that problem. If they don't, then I'm with you, bro. But I would say give them a pay-per-view or two before we go into it.
They definitely got to give us that same quality with the app where we have access to all their content. Because it's funny, because when they started the app initially, they didn't have all their content uploaded. It took like a while. It took like at least maybe like a few months to get everything uploaded. And then after a few months, it took like a few years to get it organized a certain way, like, you know, years and by pay-per-view and everything. So we definitely got to give them some time, but I'm assuming that they should already have everything. Like they should already have like what they call like something already organized already, sort of like, you know, a structure of how everything should be organized on the app.
And they probably do. It's just not.
I want that start from the beginning feature added back on. Like they need to have that.
I feel what they could have done too. They could have took the whole WWE app and moved it to Peacock. Like you know how when you go into Netflix, it says Netflix, Netflix Kids. They could have done that whole thing and not really changed nothing. That would have been a great idea.
And that's what I thought they was gonna do until I didn't even get on to Peacock until the night of WrestleMania because I'm like, yo, if I can stream it from WWE Network, I'm gonna stream it from WWE Network because that's what I'm used to. So I didn't get the Peacock app until the day of WrestleMania, right before I was ready to watch it. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna just type in WWE and the network gonna pop up, and then I'm gonna go boom, and I'm gonna be able to watch it inside like that. But it was actually they created their own thing. And what Sai just said, I think they do got a structure, like I said, but you got to give it time because this was the first official Peacock pay-per-view where it was streaming only on Peacock. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna give them a thumbs up because one thing I do like about Peacock now that I had a problem with WWE Network. I don't know if y'all remember when WWE Network first started, man. It was a lot of buffering when a lot of people logged on.
Yeah.
It was a whole lot of buffering. And I didn't have that problem. Even when I did just glimpse on to the live and I saw what we discussing right now about not being able to go back to the beginning. But when WWE first started, the network was so filled that you couldn't even enjoy the pay-per-view because you had so much buffering due to so many people watching it. But Peacock, I did not have that problem. I sat there and watched a minute or two of live to see how I was going to do. And then I logged out. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to watch the rest later. So, I mean, I guess, like I said, it's a trial and error with them as well.
But on the flip side, you got to remember, the WWE Network was a brand new app, something that was just created, brand new. They created it just for that content. Peacock's been out for a minute already.
But still, though, you got to think about this too. Though you still got to think about the fact that they brought something new to the table. So when you bring something new as big as WWE to the table, you still should or possibly have streaming and buffering problems. But they probably worked out those kinks before everybody changed over from WWE to the main WrestleMania. They probably like, yo, we don't want these problems at WrestleMania. Let's get this right. So I get what you're saying, but it is what it is, though, man.
I got a comment. Ethan Wick says, I wonder, will they ever add the feature to skip to what match you want to see? And that's one feature I definitely liked.
Yeah, I did.
I don't do that. I don't think they'll do that.
What I realized, what I do, I figured out the trick. I'm gonna go to Canada for every pay-per-view and watch the WWE Network. that's what I'm gonna do.
Yo, next subject, man.
But I definitely Ethan Wake, definitely. That was one of the features I was looking forward to. I assumed, I'm gonna tell you what my expectations was with the Peacock app. I assumed that when they went to Peacock that everything was gonna be a lot more plusher and a lot more advanced. So I assumed that when we got to the Peacock app, that you were able to start from the beginning like the WWE app. And by the time the event was done, the event was uploaded and actually sectioned to every match you wanted to go to. That's what I was assuming because I'm like, all right, they're going to Peacock. It's supposed to be, I guess, a better app. Or, because again, they have the servers to support all the bandwidth of all the people who were trying to view it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? They have more money than WWE. So I was assuming that everything would be a lot more organized and structured quickly. But apparently that's not the case right now. So hopefully they will have that feature. But I think they're going to have that feature where, because usually what happened on the WWE app was after pay-per-view was done, I believe after maybe a week or 2 weeks, then you were able to go to what match you want to see. You were able to skip through the timeline.
Yeah.
But I think they may have that feature available.
Okay.
But yeah. But I'm bad, Jay. Go ahead.
Oh, no, but I do want to point out a comment Anthony said yesterday. Last night was the worst Raw After Mania ever. I was talking to my homegirl. I was talking on the phone last night, and I'm like, yo, this shit is boring.
Man.
Yo, let's skip that because I gotta watch it. I don't want to talk about it. Let's skip that. I want to watch it.
I'm not gonna say what happened. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, yo, what the hell? Raw after Mania? This?
Oh man! All right, let's move on to the next subject. All right, if you guys are tuning in, you guys are watching this, please drop your comments in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys are thinking. You guys are catching us on YouTube. Please hit that bell, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment in the comment section below. We would love to hear feedback from you. We are just having a general discussion on. We were just talking about WWE on the Peacock app. We went from the podcast with the Broken Skull podcast with Chris Jericho and Stone Cold Steve Austin. We were talking about that in the beginning. So right now we're going to head into our third topic. Who is the greatest heel, Triple H or Randy Orton? This is the discussion that we're going to have right now. We're going to talk about this. So before we even kind of get off into, just really the topic itself. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to set everything up real quick. I want to pull out some stats real quick.
Stat guy.
What? You got stats?
Yeah.
Hey, you got stats? Wait, you got stats on both sides, right?
I got stats on both sides. It's not major. Okay. Nothing major. just a little something.
I'm just like curious because when you said that yesterday, I was listening to y'all, but I wasn't. I didn't hear nothing you said after you said Triple H was the greatest heel of all time. My mind went to plotting to is it Triple H or was it somebody else out there? And I promise you, my head had like 1,000 names to run through it, but only one stood out. One. And that was my man, Randy Orton.
Bro, there's nobody better. There's nobody better. All right,
okay.
Let me
understand that I'm the biggest Triple H fan, so I'm definitely gonna agree with Triple H being the greatest heel.
Okay, so your vote don't count because you just admitted to being a fan, a big fan of his.
No, but
your vote don't count. You're out.
Come on, nah, man, you can't do that. You can't disqualify him because he's a fan.
He's disqualified because he's a Triple H fan.
But in order for me to be a fan, he has to do something to make me be like, wow, this guy is good. You know what I mean?
Let's hear the stats. I want to hear the stats. Go ahead, sir.
Let's go to it. Triple H heel stats, right? So I didn't go through. I didn't break it down meticulously as far as how many championships he has taken from people he's feud with, or the level of highlights as far as what did he do that was so heelish. But we can go a little bit deeper to that. That will I'll have to take a little bit more time to do that. But what I did was I said, let me make this a little bit more simple, more simplistic, right? And that is, if you're a great heel, you have notable feuds, right? And everybody can have notable feuds because people will know who you feud with, right? But it's the quality of the feud that makes the heel, right? And these are the most notable feuds that are the legitimate feuds that Triple H has had, and that you can go back and watch and still be entertained and felt like from beginning to end, this feud never felt flat, right? And this is how I feel about Triple H. Notable feuds: The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, Randy Orton, Ric Flair, Batista, The Shield with Evolution, Seth Rollins, Vince McMahon, Goldberg is covering Vince McMahon, Goldberg, The Nation of Domination, and I didn't even add Kurt Angle in it. Kurt Angle was another person who's a notable feud, right?
Jericho too. Jericho also.
And Jericho, right?
Jericho,
Let's go to
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. You had Shawn Michaels there?
Yeah, I had Shawn Michaels. I had Undertaker. Let me go back because maybe I ran through it too fast.
Okay, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, Randy Orton, Ric Flair, Batista, Shield. I
want you to soak that in. Travis. Soak it in. Take it all in.
I'm soaked. Go ahead.
Side. He even made Scott Steiner look good.
And as a matter of fact, that's considered one of his worst feuds.
Let's go to Randy Orton. Let's Let's get to Randy Orton. Let's get to Randy Orton, please. Randy Orton, please.
Let's go to Randy Orton. Here we go.
Okay.
Randy Orton's notable feuds. Here we go. We have Triple H, The Undertaker, Mick Foley, Seth Rollins, John Cena, Wyatt family, The Authority, RVD, CM Punk, Christian, Edge, Chris Benoit, and Shawn Michaels, right?
And you can put, well, would you consider Drew McIntyre a notable feud?
Yeah.
You got to put the Shield in there because he was a part of Revolution when they went against the Shield for a minute.
He was.
You can put McIntyre in there because him and McIntyre, they battled for 3-4 months.
Let me tell you what I see in the stats that you just put up.
Okay.
I see a different timeline because the notable feuds with Triple H are more so of that generation when Randy was growing in WWE. I mean, now a couple of names was already there. A couple of names were good. It was already good when he got there, and they were around his age or coming up in his time. But when you look at it, the first name you got up there is Triple H, The Undertaker, Mick Foley. That was like in the beginning of his career. Yeah. Seth Rollins, John Cena was like when him and John Cena was wrecking WWE every night. The Wyatt family. That's when the Wyatt family first came together. I forgot who he joined to help take them out. The Authority, which he eventually became a part of the Authority for a split second, if you remember.
Right.
RVD, CM Punk, which was possibly one of the greatest feuds put together. Possibly. Not saying it was. Chris Benoit, okay, that was on the verge of his downfall. Shawn Michaels good, Edge. But when you go back, you said The Rock, you said Stone Cold. Like those guys with Scott Steiner and all those guys, that era was different from what Randy Orton did.
Okay, all right. Hold up. Before you continue on a little bit more, Ethan Wick says, "Don't do Scott Steiner like that."
Bro, he did it to himself.
Ethan Wick said, "Some pretty solid names for modern times." All right. So let me say this, Trav. All right.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm very
waiting. Let me say this. Okay. So if we break down Triple H, right, and Randy Orton's feuds, right? Yes. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about different times, but nonetheless, it's all about the quality of the performer, regardless of the time. It's about how they were able to perform in that time and bring out great quality work. Now, I didn't even mention, Triple H's feud with the Spirit Squad at the time. There were just so many different feuds I could mention that Triple H has had that, again, even in bad feuds, it was still entertaining. The thing about Randy Orton has had some great feuds, and he had some decent feuds. Like his feud.
Let's stop right there because you said this.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you go. Let me say what I gotta say real quick.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Ethan Wick says Randy Orton comes off as a horrible person. All right. All right, let me say this right. He kind of does. He does. Point kicking people in the head. Yeah. Let me say, he didn't punch somebody in the wife. I mean, wife in the face. But anyway, so let me go to this, right? Let me just give a straight contrast, right? His feud with The Undertaker started off with a great storyline in him fighting Undertaker, going back and forth, taking the urn, antagonizing the Undertaker. It all culminated to a classic match at WrestleMania where they had a great match that kind of reignited his career at the time where he was in a lot of hot water with WWE backstage, and it made them say, you know what, we got to still invest in this guy, right? And he was able to do that with The Undertaker, and he even thanks The Undertaker for that feud and giving him that match, Then we look at his feud with somebody like Christian, right? Christian, who obviously was supposed to be the person that went over, even though that feud was very short. It was a good feud, but that feud was very short, could have ran longer, and it fell flat of being more than what it was. It was a good feud. It wasn't great, but it was good, right? let me just skip to Triple H real quick, and then I'm gonna let you say what you got to say, right? Let me mention. I might even going to touch on his like high profile feuds, but I'll touch on something like a little light. Let me get light with Triple H real quick. Goldberg, light work. Let me give you a little light work real quick, Travis. Goldberg came in. Everybody wanted to see that feud between him and Goldberg, but Triple H made it so interesting that from beginning to end, that even though Goldberg was supposed to be the person you rooted for, Triple H became the guy you rooted for at the end of that feud. That's light. Like, and I'm gonna go to when it's hot and how it started off very quickly. Goldberg came in, high profile. He had his short little match with The Rock, great match. Then he goes on to do his thing with Triple H, kind of go back and forth. He goes after the World Championship, Elimination Chamber. Triple H, of course, is the game. He made sure, okay, you think getting to my championship is going to be easy. It's not going to be that easy. Caught him with the sledgehammer, did some work on him. After that, they kind of went back and forth a little bit. Goldberg winds up winning the championship. Triple H puts a bounty on Goldberg. Batista goes, he injures him or whatever. Long story short, Triple H gets his title back, but the feud was so good that at the end of the feud, you looked at Triple H more better than you looked at. Goldberg was supposed to be the guy to get over, but Triple H got over. Let me just touch on who is it? You know what? I'll leave it there. I don't even want to go. Every feud this guy had, amazing at best. Even at times when you thought even his match at WrestleMania against Batista, even when you were like, you know what, like why are they fighting? And then it's like when you watch the match in the beginning, sometimes it doesn't catch up to you. But when you go back and you watch it, you like it even more than when you've seen it the first time. If you don't like it the first time, you'd be like, okay. And then when you watch the feud and you go back and you watch it, you like it even more.
Okay. So, all right. So you originally started out with the Spirit Squad. All right, let me say this. That was one of the worst groups put together, right? Okay. But those guys had talent. We're not gonna discredit them for their talent. They had talent.
Dolph Ziggler.
Huh?
Dolph Ziggler.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They had talent. And honestly, let's be real. Dolph Ziggler and some of the other guys, they sold the crap out of a lot of moves that were put on them. They sold it. And I think, honestly, let's just be real. Honestly, that's how Dolph Ziggler got his contract with WWE, going through the Spirit Squad and being the guy to look like a fool. But selling it at a great point. Now, my thing is, I'm not arguing that Triple H is not one of the best heels available. I'm not saying that. But let's go back. Let's rewind. I don't remember what WrestleMania it is, but it was Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. Okay. I think they were both heels at the time, if I'm not mistaken. But Randy was on that fence of being face because of the crowd, because the crowd had started liking him. But just that instant moment where everybody's still kind of rooting for Seth because everybody liked this heel Seth. Seth comes in, try to do the curve stomp, get tossed up about 7-8 feet high in the sky, and come down to an RKO. Yo, that moment right there, like real talk, that put his heel level at a different spot. Not only that, but you go back and you look at some of the feuds that you put up when he had the feud, his first feud with Edge. That was just
now hold on.
Literally.
So Trav, you can't use that Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins because Randy Orton was a babyface during that match. Seth Rollins.
No. He was partial babyface, partial heel at the time.
Yeah.
But the WWE tried to turn him babyface, but he wasn't all the way over as a babyface because he was still going through that thing. Understand, every time Randy Orton has been tried to turn babyface, that heel side is still there. And that's why I put him as the greatest heel of all time, because Randy Orton never clicked that button from heel to babyface. When Randy Orton clicked that button, it was from heel to partial babyface. It was never a full moment in WWE that you can find where you can literally say Randy Orton was a face. It was never a time. He was always partial. He always sat on that fence.
Real
you see what I'm saying?
Real quick, Ethan Wick says, "Bro, I love Christian versus Randy."
Who didn't, bro? Who didn't?
He also says the only time I legitimately felt something from Triple H was when he said when he said nappy hair.
But and then I'm gonna give you another one. I'm gonna give you another one, Si.
Oh man.
Think about the Randy Orton versus Triple H match. When Randy Orton was heel and he was face. When that man went to another man's house, like, yo, you don't get no healer than that, bro. He was almost gangster on that.
Yeah, I gotta.
Okay,
all right, my fault. I gotta agree with Trav on this one. I'm going with Orton, man.
There we go.
No matter what you look at Orton, you just see heel. No matter what he does, is a heel. And I think he's the greatest heel of all time. He wiped out the McMahon family, bro.
Okay.
The McMahon family he wiped out.
I got this, sir. So, all right. So now, granted, I'll give you this aspect of it. The greatest heel moment for Randy for me was when he was feuding with Triple H. And he had Triple H handcuffs to the ring. I don't know if he caught Stephanie with the hanging DDT or the arcade. I don't remember. But he went over and kissed her in front of Triple H. That was like the best Randy Orton heel moment for me.
Can I ask you a question, Jay, before you go on?
Yeah.
But that moment right there, didn't that just, like, real talk, that's a moment that kind of, for me, put him over Triple H. Because Triple H didn't have that impactful of a moment of kissing another woman's wife.
Okay. No. Okay, no. I gotta stop it. I got you. You said no. Okay, here we go. Ethan Wick says, Katie Vick. Here we go. I'm about to break it down for you right now. This is why Triple H is the greatest heel. Real quick. Okay, Triple H. After Shawn Michaels loses his match against Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H takes over DX. Runs DX, right? Has a great feud with the Nation of Domination, turns on DX, joins the corporation, right? He joins the corporation when the corporation is the biggest faction at the time, right? Then after he turns on DX, right? He sides with the McMahon family. He's doing everything he can with the McMahon family to get over. Then from there, he winds up bringing China over with him, right? Then after he does that, what he does, he has DX follow him and have DX turn heel with him. After he has DX turn heel with him, he betrays Vince McMahon, right? And Triple H begins to feud with the McMahon family. He feuds with Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon. And at the same time, Vince McMahon is trying to get rid of Triple H, because at this time Triple H is a notorious heel. He's doing anything to keep the belt, and he's just pretty much being diabolical at this time. What happens is he can lose this plan to where you think that Vince McMahon is saving his daughter from being coerced by Triple H. What happens is Stephanie McMahon winds up secretly getting married to Triple H. And Triple H winds up kidnapping her, marrying the boss's daughter. He kidnaps her, marries the boss's daughter, right? And you're thinking, oh, she's been kidnapped, she's been married, and Vince got to beat Triple H in his match so they could annul this wedding. And then at that very match, when you think that Vince McMahon is going to beat Triple H and annul happens, Stephanie McMahon is in it the whole time. She was behind the whole entire thing, right? From there, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon winds up running Raw for damn near a year. A whole year. How?
Right.
It's an add-on.
Wait. One more thing. One last thing. Triple H, Shawn. Now, mind you, right? While this is happening, while all that is happening, a few months back, Triple H, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin was supposed to have a triple threat match. Somebody hit Stone Cold Steve Austin with the car. Nobody knows who did it, right? So while Triple H is over there coercing the boss's daughter to marry him, tricking Vince McMahon out of a championship and marrying his daughter, somebody hit Stone Cold Steve Austin to take him out of the equation of a triple threat match. Months later, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes back. He's trying to seek his revenge. And here it is. Rikishi says he was the guy who did it, right? He's the guy who did it, blah, 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 blah. After WrestleMania 17 or whatever it was that The Rock and Austin had their main event, here comes Triple H coming down to the ring to help out The Rock as he's getting beat up by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rikishi and Vince McMahon. Here comes Triple H, the White Knight, coming to save the day. Who does he help? You think he's going to help The Rock? No, he doesn't help The Rock. He actually helps Stone Cold Steve Austin and beat up The Rock. After he beat up The Rock, then it comes to find out that it was actually Triple H who was the guy who hit Stone Cold Steve Austin with the car all along. And you didn't see it coming. You never see it coming with Triple H. Never.
All right, hold on. All right, so let me add on to that, Ty. All right, so y'all was talking about the Randy Orton feud when Triple H went to his house in that WrestleMania match. With Triple H being the mastermind and having wrestling in his blood, I'm sure he came up with that whole game plan to make Randy look good for that whole feud. Secondly, you can't get more heat. So even with that being said, Si, with the whole Rikishi thing, and when you get a man so mad that he gets a forklift, raises you up on the roof of your car to try to kill you, that you gotta be pissed off. That trump going to anybody, you know what I'm saying, within itself. But outside of that, everybody knows Triple H and Shawn Michaels are best friends. So when Triple H came in and he was like, "Yo, I'm about to bring family," Shawn Michaels comes back. They're like, "We got to reform in DX." You know what I'm saying? The fans going crazy. They hitting towards it. Shawn's in the ring. Triple H in the ring. They was like, "Yeah," they give the cross chop. You know what I'm saying? Let's get ready to suck it. Pedigree Shawn right in the middle of the ring.
Right.
Everybody is stunned, like, what the hell just happened?
What just happened?
Right. Off like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't teach that. And not to quote Enzo, but you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Randy has moments, you know what I'm saying, as many memorable heel moments as Triple H does.
Word. Even wait, hold on, wait, two more things. That's not the second time Stone Cold Steve Austin tried to commit vehicular homicide against Triple H. The first time, I believe the first time was when they were on the DX Express and he dropped a crane on top of the bus. That's the first time. Second time, Triple H was actually in the car.
That was the second time. I think that was the second time.
Yeah, the second time is when he turned it upside down, right?
No, I think it was reversed. I think the first time was when he dropped the thing on the DX bus. I think the first time was when he I think he got it reversed.
Oh, okay. The other thing was what was the other thing? How he kicked Randy Orton out of Evolution.
Right.
That was one of the best. I mean, when Raw was suffering at one point, it was so when that happened, that was one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. When he gave him that thumbs down, and you're like, it's about to be lit. You knew it was going to be. You knew it was going to be a movie after that. You knew it.
So Yo, I got y'all. I follow y'all. But let me put it to you this way. What y'all talking about was all memorable, great moments. No cap. And I agree with you, Si, that when he put them thumbs down, we knew it was live and all outside. But let's just take it from the moment that he put those thumbs down.
Okay.
Randy Orton has never been a full face from that moment. Understand, Evolution was heel. But when he won that title, WWE seemed like they were going to push him to a face until they realized how good of a heel Randy Orton really was. And he had to go through that feud with Triple H. Now, let's just look at some of these names that you got up here on the side right here that I can kind of remember. Let's start out with I'm gonna just start with something light. I'm gonna start out with The Undertaker.
Okay.
the mind games that Randy Orton plays with people is utterly ridiculous. This guy, honestly, true enough, in my opinion, hears voices in his head to do crazy stuff. You guys got to go all the way back in to give me a memorable moment of Triple H, but I'm gonna give you one recently. You guys remember when he had Ric Flair on his side? Everybody thought he was gonna go win the WWE title, run shop, and out of nowhere, he turned his back on the person that taught him how to be dirty.
Well, but okay, so to stop you right there, Trey, you can't. That's unfair to compare because Triple H he's not active right now.
No.
I got this. No. Real quick.
Wait.
No, one thing, please. Just this one thing. I'll let you say what you gotta say.
Go ahead.
Jay, you forgetting? You said the mind games. Let's talk about the fatal four-way, right? where Finn Balor had to give up the Universal title, right? And they had a fatal four-way: Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and what's the guy name? Big Cass, right? Right, Big Cass, right? Fatal four-way, right? It was so evident that when Triple H got in that ring, he was going to hand it over to Seth Rollins. No, the swerve. Kevin Owens, I'm sorry. Seth Rollins gets pedigree. Triple H stands up and puts his hand out to Kevin Owens. Come on. Even when he's not active.
Listen, wait. Listen. All of that gets demolished. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because he's screwing the boss's daughter every night. He got 4 kids. Wait. No. Wait. Y'all got. Let me finish. Because here's the thing. You guys are giving him credit for all this writing and all this plotting and mastermind stuff, but let's not forget that Vince McMahon is the man. Vince McMahon says yes and no. Right. Vince McMahon is the person that tells the writers, hey, we doing this, we doing that. So let's not act like Triple H just came out here and made this whole plot up himself and then went out there and performed it without Vince McMahon saying, okay, I like that. So for me, what you guys are talking about as far as his writing production or his thought process production of putting information like that out there, that's not all him. So you cutting him. Wait. You cutting it in half. But you're talking about every mastermind plot that Randy Orton has had. It's been, as of course, through Vince. But Randy Orton never really ever had say so in what he does. Let's not forget the group that he put together, the Legend Killers, where he was running around gunshot Raw and SmackDown, putting every person in the head that he did not like. And then on top of that, this man made Big Show walk because Big Show didn't want to get punked by Randy Orton no more. So where's Big Show at right now? AEW. I understand what you guys are saying. I understand what you guys are saying about Triple H, but listen what I'm saying though. There was never a moment you questioned Randy Orton heel. There was plenty of times where you can honestly say, Triple H, you had to question, like, what's next? And then when he actually turned heel, you like, oh, shit. Excuse my language. But I'm just saying, that's what it was. I think, in my opinion, that Randy Orton is the best heel ever. But when you come to the moments of turning heel or being a heel, I think they share that because you got to understand something too. One of the best moments of turning heel wasn't only the thumbs down, but it was also Seth Rollins hitting Dean Ambrose in the back with the chair. Like that damn near topped the thumbs down.
All right, so you hit Roman. But hold on. All right, so Chad, let me ask you a question. Who do you think has the bigger influence backstage, Triple H or Roman or Randy Orton?
Of course, Triple H, because Triple H is the boss.
Right. So now let me. Okay. So now I asked you because of this. So we all know nowadays in the current state of WWE, it's all writers. So a lot of superstars don't have say so. They don't have, they don't have a say on what they do or their character or what they should do. So basically, right now, everything is based off of the writers, what the writers write and what they feel. Now, Randy Orton gets certain preferences because of his longevity, but Triple H and all this stuff. He had to be creative because again, Triple H was in an era where he was fighting. You had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, you had a lot of these other guys where Triple H had to do things to stand out. So that wasn't all the writers. That was all him saying, "Okay, I think guys should do this," or I think this would work, or let's try this. And even Stone Cold mentioned he's a ring general, so even the storyline playing out in the match is all him.
But here's my thing though. Yes, it was him. But a lot of that gets neglected because he had the upper hand on everybody. Understand, if I'm working a job and I'm screwing the president's daughter, I'm gonna give you prime example. And I know this is not wrestling, but I'm gonna give you prime example. Let's go to the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Tony Romo, right?
Right.
Tony Romo was the quarterback. Tony Romo never won them a Super Bowl, never did anything but put up stats just like Matt Ryan, right?
Okay.
But because he was screwing the boss's daughter, he stayed in power forever. He stayed at the quarterback position, although they had young quarterbacks that they could have brought up, that they could have trained, that they could have put in position. He stayed there. So, of course, once Triple H got involved with Stephanie McMahon, his power, his authority automatically hit the roof. Because he going in there like, hey, Vince, look, I got this and this idea and this and this. And Stephanie and Daddy are like, Daddy, I love him. Can we try? And you know, Vince is the
Don't cry me a river.
Hey, wait. I don't care what none of y'all say. Wait. I don't care what none of y'all say. If you don't have a daughter, or if you have a daughter, you know when your daughter comes to you about something, you give in, because we as men, we give in to our daughters. It ain't no different from Vince. All I'm saying is don't give Triple H all this credit like he just came up with everything.
I understand that, but I don't think it has a lot to do with anything. I think Triple H is a fair boss. But the going back to why I think Randy Orton is the greatest. Let me just say this before I move on to that. Triple H and John Cena brought the greatest heels out of Randy Orton, out of everybody on that list.
That's a true statement.
What anybody says. Triple H made a better heel. He made the heel that Randy Orton is today. I give him that credit because there was no other better feud that Randy Orton had outside of Triple H and John Cena. Maybe Mick Foley, but he dominated Mick Foley. So I don't even continue that even. But yeah, but outside of John Cena, I don't see no other better feud that he ever had. And those was like probably the best times that to be a wrestling fan. Like when Triple H came to that man's house with the sledgehammer, like you felt that like. That was like when Pillman pulled out the gun on Austin.
Right.
Like you felt that.
But we understand that Randy Orton did it first, though, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to make that clear.
But when Triple H did it, though, it just felt more like.
I get you.
No. Orton did it first, actually.
Yeah, Pillman.
Orton did it first. Yeah. Then Triple H came behind him.
But when Triple H went to that man's house, you just felt like, wait a minute. This might be beyond the strip right here. What's going on? This really this man's house.
Throw him out the window and all.
Yeah, throw him out the window. Police came. Not no WWE police. Like the real 911 came. Like that was like real epic. And then going back before when he punted Vince McMahon in the head, you felt that too. Like, wait a minute. Like that punt and the way Vince sold it, like. Vince, we know Vince is the worst active wrestler ever. He can't take a bump for nothing.
Yeah.
But when he sold that punt, though, you felt that. You're like, yo, Randy might not be here next week. Like you felt that. Like this might be real right here. Like I'm just saying, though, I think they bring the best out of each other. You can always say this one's better than this one, but I think when their best times is when they was working together. Like a couple of weeks ago when they gave us a little clip of the 2008 when Triple H, came out with the Motorhead T-shirt and They had a little 5-minute brawl on Raw. Like you felt that again. Like, oh, this is gonna be good again. I just think outside of them, like anybody else here, these are good feuds, but both of them. But I think the both of them work. They do best when they work together.
All right.
So, and saying that, do you still have Randy Orton as the top heel, or do you have Triple H? Just I mean, your honest opinion. Without them working together, because I get it, and I agree with you on that.
Talking about you seeing top heel in WWE. To be honest with you, I don't even have them as number one. I have them at 2 and 3.
And who you got number one?
Vince McMahon.
That's a good choice.
Right. So, all right, Trav. So, all right. So, to go back to your point, were you saying that marrying the boss's daughter has influence? I completely disagree. So,
wait, hold on, Jay. Wait. Well, let me just the comment section real quick, because this is hilarious. Ethan Wick says Katie Vick. Remember Katie Vick, right? Triple H and Katie Vick. All right, hold on a second. Ethan Wick says that thumbs down was epic. He also says the Ric Flair betrayal was fire with Randy Orton. Also, he says the Legend Killer gimmick was fire.
All right. So let's keep it with the sports. So we all know Phil Jackson is married to Jeannie Buss, right? Phil Jackson wanted to coach the Lakers.
No. Time out. Stop right there. He's not married. They was engaged. They never got married. But go ahead.
Engaged. That's the same thing. So everybody knew that he wanted to coach the Lakers, and he said, "Yo, I want to coach the Lakers, but I don't want to coach away games. I only want to coach home games and have somebody else coach away games." And they was like, "Hell no, we don't care who you screwing. You're not doing that." And that's how he ended up becoming the president of, the Knicks. But other than that, he had so much power, and if it was just because he was messing with the boss's daughter, they gave him that okay.
Let me stop you right there, bro. You got the story wrong. You're talking about my Lakers, so you got the story wrong. What happened in that situation was he originally did say he wanted coaches a home and away game, but the problem is at that time, Jim Buss, which is their brother, who was running the company, which was running the team before Jeannie took over, did not want Phil back as coach. He didn't want him back as the coach, as the head coach of the Lakers, because he was trying to prove, now that daddy's gone, I can do it. And they gave him authority to do it. But he screwed up so bad, he went to hire, who was it? Byron Scott.
Mm-hmm.
He hired Byron Scott over Phil Jackson. That's when Phil Jackson said, okay, well, I want to do something pertaining to basketball. He applied for the Knicks, and instantly the Knicks said, yes, let's do it. But let me put it to you this way. I get where you're going with that, but I'm telling you, bro, there is no possible way Stephanie did not have influence on what Triple H was doing in those early stages. Because at the time, you got to understand something. Stephanie didn't even have a title in the company. She was just a wrestler's, a daddy's, a boss's daughter inside the company.
Right.
So if your daughter came to you with an ideal that you like, and it came from her boyfriend or her fiance or her husband, you're gonna say, "Baby, yeah, we're gonna try that."
No,
we're gonna try that.
And Stephen is Vince would say no. If he don't like
but what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. In every gimmick Randy Orton and Triple H did, they killed it. No doubt.
Right.
No doubt. I'm not taking nothing away from Triple H. I want y'all to understand that. I agree with y'all. They are there. They are the top. They the top dogs when it comes to heel. Okay. But when you talk about the top heel, you gotta take Randy, and only the simple fact because look at what he did with the Legend Killer group. He took two nobodies and made them to somebody, and then when he decided to destroy that group, Vince McMahon said, "Let's get him out the door."
Wait,
okay, all right. Let me say this real quick. Okay, so you talk about Triple H having influence with the boss's daughter, and this is the reason why he was able to get over so much, right?
Not so much to get over, but just have like to be able to put his ideals out there, like y'all saying that he was able to do it.
The
Okay.
name of the group is Legacy.
What'd you say, Jay?
That's the name of the group Trav's talking about is Legacy with Cody Rhodes and DiBiase.
Right. But this is the thing, right? So Trav, you took the group Legacy, right? I get that. I understand, like, he took two people. He put Cody Rhodes. It was Cody Rhodes and Million Dollar Man. Actually, it wasn't Randy who put the group together. Originally, Legacy was Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase Jr., and I think it was another Wild Samoan's son. And it was actually those three. They actually decided backstage to put Randy Orton with the group, and then they kicked out the Samoan guy, and that's how Legacy was formed. It wasn't Randy's idea. It was somebody else's idea.
Wait. I'm not saying that. I'm not. Wait. Hold on. Let me say this, and then I'm gonna let you go on. I'm not saying that he created the group, but I'm just saying he took that group to a whole nother level, because if you think about Cody Rhodes, and I know who the Samoan guy you talking about, that group wasn't going nowhere no time soon with those guys. But when Randy joined that group became legendary.
It was cool. All right. Let's talk about Legacy. Legacy was cool.
Legacy was horrible.
If we talk about legendary groups, Legacy does not even make top 10.
Yeah, they were horrible.
They don't make top 10 because you had one person that was worth talking about.
No,
and that was Randy.
Cody Rhodes.
Ted DiBiase.
Cody Rhodes is dope. What are you talking about?
Cody Rhodes Cody Rhodes took off when he got out of Legacy. That's when Cody Rhodes took off. Ted DiBiase stayed the same even when he got out, and a year or two later, he was out of the company.
Right.
He came back and got kicked out again in 6 months.
Right. Cool. All right. Exactly. Because you know why? You can't teach talent. Randy Orton already had the talent. He already had the talent. Cody Rhodes had the talent. Ted DiBiase, he didn't have the passion for it. But let me just get to my point. My point is this, right? And the point that I want to get to is this, right? Is that when it comes to Triple H and the boss's daughter, or we talking about Triple H having influence with the boss's daughter, right? Everybody always throws that into the mix, but you have people like Stone Cold Steve Austin, whose career didn't suffer while Triple H was still married to the boss's daughter. The Rock, CM Punk, James Bryant, a lot of different people whose careers did not suffer because of that.
Jericho, and him and Jericho didn't even get along.
The thing about it is, I want to mention is that Randy Orton had almost just as much carte blanche backstage as Triple H did, because Randy Orton did so much more worse than any other wrestler. He messed up hotel rooms, came to venues on drunk or on drugs. He failed drug tests and wasn't fired. So many different things that he did that other people got penalized for. CM Punk was one of the hottest, if not the hottest wrestler in 2009? Wait, 2009 or 2010, and he actually got penalized for. Not penalized, but he was told to take a drug test. Him and Batista were told to take a drug test, right? He took the drug test. And then he asked Triple H, "Hey, did Batista? Did Batista take the drug test? What was his results?" And got no answer. So again, CM Punk was hot, and CM Punk still got that, had to deal with that heat. So again, there were certain things that Randy Orton got away with that a lot of wrestlers did not get away with.
Now, can I go back? Can we go back?
But hold on a second. But to say that, because Triple H had all this pull backstage with his boss's daughter, that's the reason why. It's like, no, that's not fair. Because Jericho even said on a podcast, Jericho said this. He said whenever he was putting a gimmick, he always made sure he sold it and made it work. You can't teach talent. You can't teach talent.
And then Trav, you gotta look at this.
Groom it to something greater. But if you ain't got the talent, or you don't have the idea or the mindset to really push that angle to where it needs to go, ain't gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, and you got to think about this too, Trav. Even on the podcast, Jericho said, going back to what you're saying about him being with Steph, him and Jericho did not get along, according to Jericho. And Jericho's career took off.
Right.
He could have had a lot to do. He could have said, "Listen, I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. He shouldn't be none of that, blah, blah, blah. He could have held him back. But he put that feud with Jericho that he had backstage. He left it backstage. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with that. But let's go back to what Jay said earlier. Let's go back to what Jay said earlier when we were talking about switching brands with AEW, right? Y'all remember Jay said that he don't feel like that if that happened, that he would let his top guys fall. Understand, at that given time, Jericho was a top guy. CM Punk was a top guy. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a top guy. The Rock was a top guy. So you mean to tell me that you can't see the corrosion when if I go to Vince McMahon and I say, hey, I don't like Stone Cold Steve Austin, let's get rid of him. I'm going to tell you to go screw yourself because this guy's making me money. So at the end of the day, I get where you guys are coming from, but you can't tell me that Stephanie and Triple H didn't have some influence on some of the things that were done with Triple H. Not saying that everything, but some of the stuff, it was influenced by Stephanie because he's screwing the boss's daughter.
No,
I'm just saying you got to look at the fact that those guys did some great things together. I think all of it was plotted good with Triple H. I think it was plotted good with Randy Orton. But when you talk about the top heel, you're talking about a guy that basically is going strictly off script and selling it each and every single night and making you think. I don't think, hold on. I don't think either one of you guys can question. When y'all first heard Randy Orton's song, I hear voices in my head. And even to this day, when you hear that song, you look at Randy Orton, you say, yo, that cat really hear voices in his head. Given the fact that Triple H did everything he did was great, I get it. I understand it. I see why y'all got him up there. But Randy Orton was like the heel of heels. He's never been a face. Not a complete face, at least. Yes. He's never been a complete face. Now that time, he's been a complete face. A complete face.
I got two things I want to get to. Point number one, I don't think Randy Orton has had a heel moment to top when Triple H was the heavyweight champion and Stephanie was the women's champion, and they both were parading real snobbish, I'm better than you attitude, walking around stage on Raw, and SmackDown, just real like. Jay doesn't have anything to top that. Now,
hold on. Let me say this before you go on. My problem with that is that's a moment. That's one moment, and it doesn't define whether that makes Triple H a top heel or not.
I can tell you. I can tell you what defines it.
You guys got wait. You guys can name 30 moments, but what we're talking about right now is their status is heel. We're not talking about moments. If we're gonna talk about moments, then I can agree with y'all as moments. Yeah, Triple H wins the moment side.
But that would make you a top heel. If you gotta have things that stand out for you to be a heel. Now, to prove your to your point about being married to the boss daughter and them having influence, yes, Stephanie can go to Vince and say, yeah, I like that. Now let's switch roles. Let's say Ryback was married to Stephanie McMahon. Do you think if Stephanie went to Vince and said, hey, Ryback wants to do this, Vince gonna be like, you know what, that's a good idea. He gonna say, hell no, get Ryback out of here.
And you know why? You know why? You know why they would say hell no, get Ryback out of here? Is because Ryback was never liked in the back locker room. First of all, Ryback was hated by John Cena. John Cena never really wanted to feud with Ryback. Nobody really wanted anything to do with Ryback. And that's why Ryback did not. That's why Ryback did not go as far as he should have went because he was a counselor in the locker room, like they named Big Cass. Right, so but the thing is, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. When you talk about moments, get it. Granted, Triple H got some of the top moments, turning heel, being heel. But you got to understand something. Granted, too, though, every single moment, almost every single moment of Randy Orton's career has been a heel. We've had multiple times and long strings of Triple H being face.
Trav, listen, no. Let me say this. Wait, Jay.
Triple H for a while either. You know what I'm saying? When that whole click incident, Triple H in the doghouse for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't punish Shawn, they punished Triple H. He was in the doghouse for a minute to the point where he wasn't even on TV. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't always the most likable especially when and they said it when Triple H was Shawn definitely wasn't one of the guys like backstage. So when Triple H when Shawn was together, they didn't like Triple H either because they couldn't stand Shawn. Triple H
They didn't, but they literally hated Ryback. They literally hated Ryback.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Because you're saying because it's like because Trav, this is the thing, man. Every time, listen, you're saying Triple H has the best moments, and Triple H was the best heel. You keep forgetting about now. Again, I probably mentioned this before, but Randy Orton is one of my favorite WWE superstars too, just like Triple H. I just think Triple H is better. But as far as Randy Orton was a face. Randy Orton has not. Hold on a second. He's not completely healed. After he was kicked out of Evolution, he was a face for a while. When he had his small feud with Sheamus, he was a face for a while. There were times that he was a face and he tried to play face. That's one thing. The second thing is this: when it comes to moments, Triple H had the best moments. When it comes to being the best heel, Triple H is the best heel, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because what other heel would you like when you have a heel? Like when a person that you know was a heel, you always see it coming. Like Austin. Austin was always a heel. Austin was either a heel or he was an anti-hero. It was one of the two. So when Austin did things like stun you in the middle of the ring, or he shook your hand and then turn around and stunned you, you seen it coming. With Triple H, you never see it coming. With Randy Orton, you seen it coming. With Triple H, you never see it coming. He was a better heel. With a heel, you never see it coming.
Yeah, he sold it. He sold it. I think a lot of credit for Triple H though. Like everybody mentioned Stephanie, but nobody mentioned Shawn. If Shawn would have never took Triple H underneath his wing, where would he be today?
Which is true.
Okay, so that's true. Wait.
I disagree.
Wait. Same thing with Triple H. If he hadn't took Randy under his arms, where would he be? We can say that all day, but what I'm saying is that, like you said, listen to this. All these feuds that Randy Orton has had as partial face, he was never a face, and Randy was so bad at being.
No, Trav, no.
No, Trav, he was a face.
That's not true. He was not.
Wait. This is what I'm saying though.
He was a face with Christian.
Randy Orton was so bad as a face that they had to keep him heel. They can't listen. Randy can't play face because of his facial expression. No, Randy was a bad heel, bad face every time he turned face.
Trav. When he got kicked out of Evolution the first time, the reason why when he was a face, if you go back and you watch the footage of the first night of Raw. I'm sorry, the first night of Raw after he was kicked out of Evolution, the pop he got as a babyface was crazy. He was getting like an Austin and Rock pop.
I get that, but that doesn't. Wait. But the crowd reaction doesn't
continue on as face. The reason why he didn't continue on his face is because he was having heat backstage and he was being punished. That's the reason why they took the title off of him, because he was spitting on fans. And he was destroying hotel rooms, getting drunk, doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff. Randy Orton
you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me? Wait. You mean to tell me doing dumb stuff like that and don't get kicked out of the WWE? You mean to tell me that doesn't put accolades on his heel, on the heel side of him? You're talking about a guy. Listen. Wait. You listen. You're talking about a guy that has been. Oh, listen. This man has heard voices from the day Triple H turned his back on him, and it has not changed. This guy, I understand what y'all saying about Triple H. I get it. I truly do. But I'm not putting Triple H over Randy Orton as a heel. Not as a heel. As a better wrestler? Hell yes. As a better competitor? Hell yes. But as a heel, Randy Orton sells it, completes it. And sometimes you see it coming and sometimes you don't. But it doesn't matter if you see it coming or you don't see it coming.
Most of the time you see it coming with Randy.
Because Randy Orton always looked like a heel no matter if he face or not. That's how you see it coming. And because of the bad writers in WWE, you know it's coming. I'm not giving you guys that title. I'm sorry. That's everybody's
Listen,
own entitled to their own opinion.
When it comes to Randy Orton, it's like doing a deal with a demon. When
Exactly.
it comes to Triple H, it's like when it comes to Triple. Hold on a second. Let me finish. When it comes to Randy Orton, it's like doing a deal with a demon. When it comes to Triple H, it's like doing a deal with the devil. It's different. It's so different. It's so different. With Triple H, you never see it coming. You never see it coming. You cannot tell me that swerve. Even though Triple H wasn't even active, you cannot tell me that swerve that happened in that fatal 4-way match where he pedigreed Seth Rollins and he put his hands out to Kevin Owens.
Even when he did it to Daniel Bryan.
Listen, okay, that was but that's what I'm saying.
You've never seen it coming. Stop.
That was a great. Wait. That was a great moment when he turned on Seth. I agree with that. But like I said, just the other day, last month, a couple months ago, when he turned on freaking Ric Flair, you didn't see that coming. And you can't say it wasn't a great moment because Ric Flair was
the legend killer.
Ric Flair was all in. You thought, okay, Ric Flair gonna be with him, he gonna growl with him, and he turned his back. It's just like when Randy Orton turned his back on Legacy. You really didn't see that coming.
The top when he turned on Seth moment, the moment when he turned on Daniel Bryan after he beat John Cena was crazy. Nobody was expecting that.
And I get that, but what I'm saying is, Randy Orton got just as many heel moments as Triple H. Is good what he do, and I agree with y'all. But for me, Randy Orton is my top heel. Don't question me. Don't ask me.
Right.
There's nothing you can say.
All right, you got it. You got it, Trav. All right, so guys, that's it for today, man. We went an hour and 30 minutes. That was a great conversation. I enjoyed that. We thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm gonna hit the comment section real quick. Ethan Wick says Punk got screwed multiple times because people didn't like him. Ethan Wick says I'll take Randy Orton as a better wrestler. And Ethan Wick says Randy Orton is definitely a longevity heel. Interesting.
Randy Orton is a better wrestler.
There you go, Ethan. There you go, Ethan.
Hey, that's what Ethan Wick is going with. I mean, Jay, you already know who we go with, or all day, every day.
I told you Jay don't count because he's a fan.
I don't care what nobody says. There was nothing better than Attitude Era Triple H, and even Triple H, there's no one better. Even Authority Triple H. Everybody hated him. There was no one better. There was no heel there was nobody that got so much heat that you wanted to see just be ended. You know what I'm saying? But all right, we gotta go. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Trav. Thank you, Anthony Cobbs. Thank you, Ethan Wick. We thank you guys. Thank you, J Mac Main. We are on live. We thank you guys for coming on, joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. We will be back with you guys following this week. We'll probably be back with you guys tomorrow for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. If you guys are catching us on YouTube, please hit that bell for notification. We want to see you guys come on with us live and drop some comments in the comment section below as we have these conversations about WWE and wrestling content. Until next time, I am your host, Ahim the Dream.
With your boy, J McMahon and Trav. Triple H is the best, and that, my friend, is undisputed.
Boo! The worst exit ever. This is your boy Trav Bayless. That's what I'm putting at the bottom. And Triple H was a great heel. I ain't taking nothing from him, but Randy Orton is the best. He hear voices in his head. Y'all gonna leave here hearing my voice in y'all head.
And before we go, this is your boy Cesaro section, and shout out to Triple H's babies. They made WrestleMania this week, and that's all I had to say. But y'all have a good night, man.
We'll see you guys later. Peace.